Tracy French was enjoying a quiet, sunny afternoon in her backyard garden when she first noticed it. A tiny pink mark just above her lip. At first, it looked harmless. Just a blemish. Maybe a pimple. Tracy didn't think twice. Life was hectic, and there were more urgent things to worry about. Work deadlines, errands, family obligations. The mark blended into the background of her day-to-day life. It was easy to ignore. We've all done it. Dismiss something on our skin, telling ourselves it's nothing. For Tracy, that tiny spot was just another forgettable detail in the blur of daily routine. But then, the days turned into weeks, and the mark stayed. It didn't hurt. It wasn't itchy. It wasn't oozing or growing rapidly. It was just there. A little pink patch with no symptoms, no warning bells. Still, something about it began to nag at her. At first, she brushed it off. Probably just a stubborn pimple, she thought. But it wouldn't go away. Then one morning, she noticed it felt slightly raised, a little rougher. The texture had changed, not by much, but enough to catch her attention. Even so, Tracy didn't panic. Life's demands pushed the concern to the back burner. It wasn't urgent. It wasn't screaming for help. Yet. But her reflection kept reminding her. And soon, so did her friends. "Is that a cold sore?" one asked casually. "Maybe it's an allergy," said another. Each comment chipped away at her nonchalance. A quiet voice inside her started to speak louder. What if it's not nothing? What if it's something? That night, Tracy found herself scrolling through skin health articles online. One sentence leapt off the screen. Any skin lesion that doesn't heal in a few weeks should be examined by a professional. Her gut clenched. That was the moment, the turning point. She booked an appointment with Dr. Chi, a well-respected dermatologist in her city. When the day came, Tracy sat in the quiet waiting room, thumbing through pamphlets about moles, sun damage, and UV exposure, trying not to spiral into worst-case scenarios. Dr. Chi was calm, professional, and kind. She listened carefully as Tracy described the mark's stubborn presence and its subtle changes. Then, she leaned in, examined it closely, and said something that froze Tracy in place. "We'll need to do a biopsy." The word biopsy hit like a freight train. Tracy nodded, masking her fear with a tight-lipped smile. Dr. Chi reassured her. It was a routine procedure, quick and minimally invasive. The goal was clarity. Tracy underwent the biopsy that same day. As she left the clinic, she felt a strange mix of emotions, relieved to have taken action, but anxious about what the results might reveal. A few days later, the call came. Dr. Chi's office asked her to come in. Her heart pounded as she walked into the clinic. She tried to brace herself, hoping for something minor, anything but what she feared. Dr. Chi didn't beat around the bush. "It's squamous cell carcinoma," she said gently, "a common form of skin cancer, but you caught it early." Tracy sat in stunned silence. Cancer? From that tiny mark? It didn't feel real, but it was. And now, there was a path forward. Tracy's treatment began almost immediately. Dr. Chi recommended Mohs surgery, a precise technique that removes thin layers of skin one at a time, each examined under a microscope until no cancer cells remain. It had a high success rate, minimal damage to healthy skin. The best option. The morning of the procedure, Tracy was nervous but resolute. The surgery was done under local anesthesia, and the team's skill and care reassured her. Every layer removed brought her one step closer to recovery, and finally, it was over. The surgery was a success. Now came the healing. Tracy followed strict wound care instructions. She cleaned the area daily, kept it covered, and protected it from the sun. The scar that remained was small, a faint pink line that told a much bigger story. A reminder of her intuition, her courage, and the danger of ignoring the small stuff. She went back to her normal routine, but Tracy had changed. What started as a private health scare soon became a public mission. Tracy began speaking to friends and family about what had happened. She urged them to pay attention to any lingering marks or changes on their skin, to never assume something was just a blemish. She started attending community health events, giving talks, sharing her story. She even worked with local schools to introduce sun safety into the health curriculum, believing that habits start young and awareness saves lives. Tracy wasn't just recovering, she was transforming. Tracy's story shines a spotlight on something we often take for granted: our skin. Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the world. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in every 3 cancer cases is skin-related, and squamous cell carcinoma, the type Tracy had, is the second most common. It's treatable, especially when caught early, but it can be deadly if ignored. The good news? Most skin cancers are preventable. Tracy learned the importance of sunscreen, not just in summer, but year-round. She now uses broad-spectrum SPF every day, wears wide-brimmed hats, and stays in the shade during peak sun hours. Protective clothing became part of her wardrobe. She also committed to regular skin checks, monthly self-exams, and yearly dermatologist visits. Early detection, she realized, can mean the difference between a tiny scar and a life-threatening diagnosis. Studies show that consistent sunscreen use can reduce the risk of skin cancer by up to 50%. Tracy wants that message to reach as many people as possible. Tracy's journey, from overlooking a tiny pink mark to undergoing surgery and becoming a health advocate, is more than just a cautionary tale. It's a wake-up call for all of us. She wants people to look, really look at their skin, to know that any spot that doesn't heal, that changes shape or texture, could be the first whisper of something serious. She's not telling her story for sympathy. She's telling it so no one else has to go through what she did. So, if you're watching this, check your skin, book that appointment, wear the sunscreen, don't wait. Because sometimes the smallest mark can tell the biggest story.